In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can get free seeds. Yes, free seeds. I said it, free seeds. You can actually get free seeds from a variety of different sources. And in this video, that's what we're going to talk about. And who doesn't want something for free when all our bills are rising faster than we can count? Before we get on with the rest of the video, may I invite you to visit my new revamped website at jillbretherton.com, where we have lots of new gardening related gifts and products which you can buy directly from Amazon. The website is organised into two distinct shops. There's a USA shop and a UK shop, although many of these products can be bought internationally directly from Amazon. You can see a drop-down list which will give you the various options depending on what products you fancy. On each page there's also a tab that will take you directly to the category you want. We also have a range of Christmas related designs and colouring books. Our t-shirts come in a variety of colours and sizes, so don't be put off by the colour pictured on our website. If you like the design, you can likely buy it in another colour. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get back to the video. So here we go. Let's talk about all the ways you can get free seeds for your veg plot and your flower garden. Seeds seem to be getting more expensive every time I go to the shops. I mean, sometimes they're like £3 plus for 15 Snapdragon seeds. It's getting beyond a joke. So it's becoming more and more vital if you want to keep that garden going and introduce some diversity and keep those flowers going year after year, and at the same time keeping your costs down, to start looking for free seeds. Okay, so let's get into it. Number one. So the first place you can get your free seeds is from your kitchen. So if you've got tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelon, pears, apples, oranges, lemons, whatever, you have in your garden that actually, in your kitchen that actually has seeds in it, you can scoop out those seeds, wash off the pulp and the fruit debris or veg debris, then dry them out on a paper towel. Leave them on a paper towel to dry out over a few days. Once they're dried out, you can store them or you can plant them in your garden. Another one I was just thinking as well is pumpkin, squash, that kind of thing. If you are doing watermelon in the UK, you need to start them super early, and you're probably going to have to start them indoors because they take a long time to grow and ripen in the UK. Aubergines, chilies, anything you can think of that has seeds in it. You can tend to those seeds, you can harvest them, and then you can grow them yourself in the in your garden, in the house, or wherever you grow your produce. So while we're at home, let's talk about number two, collecting the seeds from your garden. We so often don't do this. It took me years to get my head around the idea that instead of always buying seeds or buying new plants from the garden centre every year, I could just let some go to seed and collect those seeds and start them myself in the winter or spring. And so that's what I started doing. And once I started doing it, I realised that I could just save so much money on the garden by producing my own plants from seed. I collect sunflowers, dahlia seeds, saponaria seeds, yarrow seeds, snapdragon seeds, loads of snapdragon seeds, poppies, foxgloves, you name it, godetia, strawflower, honesty. I could go on. You name it, I collect the seeds, and then I have more seeds than I know what to do with when it comes to winter. I have so many seeds now. Sometimes I just can't fit them all in my garden, so I end up just having to select a few every year. But it really means that I save a lot on seeds. When I first started doing a flower garden, I did have to spend a lot on seeds just to get me started. But the last couple of years, I really haven't spent anything really at all, but the rest I have collected and harvested myself from seed. Sweet peas, another one. I was just thinking that I have loads of sweet peas. Right, number three is community seed swaps. So these are things like local listings, maybe in your village hall you have a gardening get together, or there's a Facebook marketplace for a local club where they swap seeds. We have a local community event in the next village every year where people swap their plants that they've grown from seed. Those kinds of things, so you'd have to, that's all going to be different depending on where you live, but most places have some sort of community gardening get together where you can, or event where they're selling gardening produce or giving it away. The next one, number 4, is seed banks. So seed banks, obviously they're storing seeds for posterity. And so they are quite happy to give away seeds for you to obviously grow and then continue the species. But they won't give them for commercial purposes. So you'd have to like prove that you are going to use them just to regenerate and use them to continue the species. But they are happy to give seeds to people to grow and continue their seeds that they have in their banks. We have obviously here in the UK, we have Kew Gardens, and then there's another Kew Garden extension called Wakehurst Place. And we also have obviously the Eden Project is another one. They will probably have some criteria, i.e. you can't be a business and you're not going to profit from them. But other than that, you can check online for your local seed bank, see where you can get free seeds. And you don't necessarily have to live in the UK or in the country where the seed bank is. You can still approach them for free seeds. Number 5, ask around. I mean, ask fellow gardeners, ask your mum, ask your neighbours. If your neighbours have got a really pretty garden but you're just starting out, ask them if you can collect some of the seeds in the summer. There's literally no harm to them. It costs nothing. If you know somebody with an established garden and you don't have an established garden, just ask them if you can have a wander around the garden, or if you get invited around for a glass of wine in the evening, just see what's going to seed and ask if you can have some. Number 6, wild seed foraging. So I do this. You have to be careful. In the UK, there are rules about harvesting from the wild. So you can't pick wildflowers. You can't dig up and transplant wildflowers. For instance, I'll give you an example. Bluebells are a protected species here in the UK. But what you can do, so you'd have to check your local rules depending on where you are. Obviously in the US, you even have different rules depending on what state you live in. So you'd have to check your local rules about wild foraging. But there are so many seeds that you can get. If in doubt, you can obviously refer to the 1981 Wildlife and Countryside Act here in the UK. But one of the ways I get round it is by looking for other plants to harvest seeds from. Sometimes, like especially here in my village where I am, there's a lot of hollyhocks about, there's a lot of yarrow, plants that self-seed outside of the people's gardens, in alleyways and on grass verges, on what is basically council land. Oxeye daisy is another one I see around. And these are not wild flowers, nor are they growing on private property, so you can harvest the seeds. I also think they're probably a better variety of that particular seed, such as the hollyhocks, because they have literally grown with no tender love and care from anyone. They've literally had to fend for themselves. This means they are pretty robust plants and are going to be good survivors in your garden as well. So there you go, there's some free tips for you on how to get free seeds. There's lots there. You could definitely fill up a garden with the free seeds that you can obtain from different various sources. And it would be a really great project actually for somebody with a new garden to see if they could entirely populate the garden with plants that they've grown from free seeds. I think that would be a really great project to do. But anyway, if that gave you some ideas about how to get your free seeds, then let me know in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.